this? Well, this is what is civilization restarted, in my opinion. My opinion, you freaks. Okay, I'm sorry about that, but this is gonna be coming the exact same day as my first video came. So technically, this is gonna be my second video, also, but it's gonna upload earlier today because the next one's gonna upload after. So technically, this is gonna be my first video when it's not the first one I recorded, because the other one was a little bit bad and unrealistic. But I think I have a better understanding. So right here, this is where realistically these people will spawn. But I believe they should spawn around here. This is a way more lush environment where humans would probably try to settle in, because there's tons of lakes by each other, and they're close to the coast, so they can go down whenever they want. So it's gonna start from one group of humans that start around this lake right here. No, I'm not even gonna use borders. Why would I use borders? Just use red. Okay, so they started, hold on. They will now start around exactly here. These humans are going to be around these lakes because it will have an advantage, so they can have way larger territories and eventually go as a first empire. So this is going to be a semi-democracy. They will have a council. And one leader that would be elected by the council. Kind of like they'll be elected by the council. I was about to say kind of like Rome, but I don't know that much more in history. So these people are expansionists, so they would want to expand. People would want to go north because they heard folktale of travelers that there is a lake right here. That there's a giant lake, which they're talking about right here, but they thought they would eventually find, but they will not know where north is, so they will say, oh, giant lake, well, I guess we'll go over here. Then other people see and travel to this lake, so people would want to go down, but they would want to send their main travelers there, but they would want to go to the big lake that they folktale. Oh god. Don't ask what just happened, because I'm not telling you. I'm not telling you. Okay, anyways. Okay. So what happens if we have a disagreement? They would want to split. So these people immediately want to travel up north, so they start doing it. But then the leader calls them back because he wants to go south. But the travelers wanted to go north. So when they have that disagreement, they rebel and they form what I would call blue team. So these people are mainly northern expansionists, and the red team really just doesn't want to deal with them, so they decide to just keep on going south, and they eventually get this, which is a large lake, and what blue team now is going, whoa, okay, and the blue team now is going north, and they eventually would run out of supplies. So they say, red team, can we have supplies? The red team disagrees. So they would say, we'll attack if you don't give us supplies. And the red team says no. And then they say, now we're attacking. So they send their groups attempting to attack red team, but it really doesn't work that much because remember, they need supplies. And the red team is able to get back at the blue team and eventually capture their capital city. They don't really even have cities, but there's just their capital where their leader lives. So now being attacked from this side and this side, they say they surrender, and the red team says that we're going to annex you. Annexation occurs, and now the blue team is wiped out. But many survive from the blue team, and they continue going up north until they find... Oh, I don't want the blue world anymore. Stop it, okay? Eventually find the lake, and they settle down at the lake. Oh, whoa. And they settle down at the lake, but many still explore north, so they're going to be mainly expanding fast. But they are no match for the red team. Eventually the red team makes it south to these lakes. And they say, well, we think we're maybe on an island. So they really think that the world isn't really much past this. They think that, well, no, I don't want the red ocean. Okay, thank you. They think that this is all, they think that this is all ocean over here. They think they're on a giant island like this. They know that there is possibly lakes over here, but they don't know that there's any south. They think they're just on one big island in the middle of the world. So basically this is the world that they know about. Okay, anyways, back here, maybe I'm thinking about that something. Hold on, I'm gonna color the world that they haven't. Come on, give me the white, give me the white, give me the white. Oh, okay, I'm gonna color the world that they haven't explored in this color. So this is the world. Oh, okay, we're just gonna get rid of that idea. Okay, we're good. So now the red team is going to send a team of explorers to go in this direction. So they're going to be claiming territory as they go. They eventually think, oh, this is nothing that we need. So they go back. The red team sends them back again. This time to thicken out the giant line that they're forming in case if anybody wants to split there, they'll still be able to have time to attack. Then they send them in both sides. This team needs to go north. This team is going to stay straight. So this team going north says, oh, we see this around here. So they decide to claim it all. So they found these giant lakes. This team is going to now ramp up their speed because they're going to keep a little bit of supplies on them. And eventually they find the ocean. And they form kind of like Israel. They form this Israeli colony, and now this is what they have so far. They have a giant coastal colony, but right here it's kind of disconnected. So slowly this line will dissipate. And when it starts dissipating, less supplies are able to come over here. And people get a little bit angry because they came over here and now they're abandoned from their families. Then they unclaim the territory, slowly forgetting about it. And but they keep their northern colony. So having this big giant line right here, people get mad and they want to rebel. So then they rebel, but nobody cares, kind of, because nobody. Why would you care? Because they're literally just a long lost colony. So now the red team. So now we have to check up at the blue team. Blue team, since we didn't, so because we missed tons of history, they have. Let's just say that they have formed a giant. They have formed a giant empire from expanding all this time. So now we have our three main countries. Red team now wants to own the coast again, so they kind of just do it. Nobody knows how the red team has just gone so strong. Probably because I really like the color red, but also I really like the color blue, but hey, sucks. Well, that doesn't really make sense. Okay. Also, if you're watching this into the video, subscribe, because I like to do it in the middle of the video. Yeah, I'm really copying Electability, so sorry about that, Electability. But I want you guys to subscribe because you've been watching this far in the video and you clearly enjoy my videos, don't you? Don't you enjoy my videos? Okay, so now we have a giant red empire, we have a giant blue empire, and we have green team. Green team is now going to make the treacherous risk of expanding for the first time. So they're actually not expansionists. They just want to have more supplies because they slowly started running out of that stuff. So now having this giant coastal part of Africa, they have enough supplies, and now they really don't like the red team because they literally abandoned them. So they send their warriors out to attack red team. They immediately start going up their territory, cutting off many parts of it from the coast so they won't have enough supplies. The red team hears about this. They send back their warriors, but it's too late. They already lost their coast. And now that the green team has officially made it all the way into deep territory, they send out their warriors, but it isn't enough to stop the green team that's literally been in their territory for literally around 2 months now. They already have tons of supplies sending from Africa. Now they have warriors inside their warriors are now conquering their borders, conquering their lines. And the green team, while doing this, is sending out some warriors to conquer unknown territory. That isn't part of the red team, but they're doing it for the supplies. So now, whoa, oh my god. That was loud. Discord notification. So now they're making it down to their capital, where it all started, right here. Yeah, and they still have control over that. They haven't forgotten about it. No. Did it start all the way over there? I think it did. Wait a second. Well, I'm having a convention right now. I don't remember if it started right here or right here. I think it started, yeah, I think it started right here, this tiny colony, tiny part. So now, green team making their risks going into deep and hot territory, where they don't really milk it, but the green team knows how to take tons and tons of stuff and turning it into profit. Now reaching into their Turkish territory, they are conquering the borders to try to make a giant encirclement, because they believe if they put their enemies into a giant circle, they'll be able to crush them down, and they're kind of right, because that's called encirclement. Going around the lakes, make sure all the cities around the lakes are conquered. Now they have warriors trapped in here, and now the red team has warriors trapped in there, and the green team takes over it. Right here, taking over. Eventually, the red team surrenders, and they also lose this giant line right here. Okay, now the green team is the largest empire. and blue team is coming right below them. And now you basically have the fundamental 3 civilizations of the world. Now part of being the largest empire is people do not like you that much. And in that not liking, yellow team comes in. They're extreme expansionists, and they want to expand into Turkey. And the green team never wanted to do that, so the yellow team does that. Green team doesn't really care about this because they're just gonna let that happen. Oh! Okay, I knocked out the same thing that I did in the last video. In the last video I recorded, I knocked down the same bucket. So now we have the yellow team expanding into Europe, and they're gonna be the people that will fund European society. Many come out from yellow team, go deep into other territory, and then start forming new civilizations. Wait a second, is this the same? Is this the same type of great ibis paint? This is just slightly different. This is slightly different. I can barely tell the difference between it. That's weird to say, boy. Anyways, but like I was saying, now we have. It's very simple. Okay, right there, right there. Why can't I tell a difference? Why can't I tell a difference? Okay, here, can I tell the difference? Yeah, completely. Okay. So now we have other civilizations forming. We have them all being just coastal. Oh. Whoa. I can move the map. Earthquakes happen. Earthquakes. Oh no. I just figured out that this special tool looks weird. Whoa. Oh yeah, the yellow team's expanding a lot. Oh, really a lot. And, just touch, please. Oh no, okay, we have extreme earthquakes going on. Okay, hold on, let me cut this. Yeah, so messing around the map, but I accidentally went back in time way too much. So I kind of have to redo these borders. So, yeah. And since this has happened... Oh, whoa. Stop it. Thank you. So I'm just going to reform the yellow team. So yeah, the yellow team is now expanding all the way deep into Turkish territory. Some explorers go north, and with that northern conquering, they form neon green team. Now doing this, they start moving around the coast and eventually meet right here, forming their first ever boats, like literally first ever boats. And those boats, they don't really like the government. So they form right over here the neon blue team. Oh god, no Liquid Fly pin anymore. Now forming this, they start slowly conquering coastal territories, and they make it all the way to modern day Ukraine. And with that, people might conquer Crimea, but they don't. So other people move from here, go through here, and they conquer Crimea. Whoa. I might have to go right here. Yeah, that helps. So now having Crimea in the world, this kind of messes up Neon Blue Team. So, Crimea really doesn't want to stay there. So, they're gonna travel away from this, go through here, and enter modern day Russia. With this, they move coastal, leaving some places unconquered, but leaving others in their control. Now they're a giant coastal country. And now they're literally reaching so much. It's almost here with all the other countries. So now we have European controlled places, and they travel up and become kind of like Russia, being extremely large, but also being okay. I'm too lazy to do this, so I'm just gonna do that. Okay, so now we have large and larger European nations. And over here, Blue Team. Blue Team doesn't want to stay. Whoa. Oh, yeah, there's a difference between that. And the first ever puppet occurs. They don't want to stay where they are, but they also kind of have to, because this is where their main base of support is. So they form the Enclave right here, so they will have support, and they will carry it through unclaimed lands, which this might have to start an issue, because workers don't want to travel miles and miles to get to the puppet. And you know what happens now. They revolt. This revolution causes them to lose a base support and them invading the puppet. The puppet not having any troops, just having tons of workers there. The other workers join, and then they become their own nation. So this time, when the Blue Nation makes their puppet, they make it so it borders them. They make it so it borders them, and it's way better due to it being not that long, and they can send troops they can also have troops there. And then they get tired of this because they don't really have that much stuff near them, so they just start their expansion. Puppet era is over, because they saying that how puppets don't really work out that much, and now they start their expansion to become wider. And with this expansion, they also straighten out their borders. And now, they border Green Team by a lot. Not that much. They tiny border Green Team. They heard that there's a yellow. They heard that there's another country. And they now border them. This time they make their borders wider and wider because they've seen how they are also expansionist. And they don't want them expanding to places that they can't, that they can have more and more territory. They also hear that there's another team. They also hear there's another country, so they also start their expansion up here. And now we have the age of expansion, having expansion all around this giant peninsula. And I'll now show you the map that they think that the world looks like. They now know that there's a giant piece of Africa, so they actually now, every team knowing that there is a giant continent, explorers know that there's a giant series of lakes, so they get expands all the way through here. They know there's a giant lake up here, so they think that that's actually just the ocean. So what they think it looks like is, I think that this is what the world looks like. Hold on. I'm getting out all this stuff. Okay, so this is what they think the world looks like. Okay, so this is what they think that the world looks like. They know that there's a Caspian Sea. They know that there is a giant lake right here. They know that Turkey exists. They know what Turkey is. And now this is what they just think it looks like. This giant island. Well, I want to save. Nope, that's not how you save. This says a save. Okay, now you're just gonna see me saving this. And yeah, that's what. Okay, so this is what they think the world's like. So this is the what is the world restarted series. Let me know what I should do for the next video, and that's basically it. Goodbye, fans. I don't know what my catchphrase is at the end of the video, so I'm just gonna say I want to. And goodbye.